Boys, I had planned on doing a video that was kind of saying, hey, don't buy a PC right now. It's cheaper to buy a console to get started with Vanguard, but that's just not true. So let's dive in and look and see what's happening right now. But let's start with kind of some craziness, guys. It's just mind-blowing to me right now that you are struggling to find a console in any generation. So, I mean, if we look at GameStop's website, dude, yeah, you can get it pre-owned, but everything else is sold out. And then look at the PlayStations. Yeah, you can get a PS4 Pro used, you can use regular PlayStation Slim, but you're not getting anything new. And PS5s, dude, go to eBay, they're about $1,000. So what does that mean? So that essentially means that it's going to cost you about $1,000 to get into this. So if you're going to spend about $1,000 to get into gaming, what's the move to make? Is it to run the minimum requirements required by Vanguard, which is this setup that you see on my screen right now? This puts you at $778, not counting mouse and anything else you might need as far as like a desk and things like that. Now, the thing here is PC gaming is a very, very expensive hobby. It's one of those hobbies that once you have, though, it's hard to go back to a console because it's just you have the open availability of everything else. So if we push our system to the competitive level of Vanguard, you're setting it around about $1,000. And that's without a video card because, as you can see, the video card is almost never around. So what do video cards cost nowadays? What is going on with that market? So let's head on over to Browse Products, Video Cards, and we'll see what we have that's competitive that plays this game okay in that 3060 Ti tier. So what does that mean for us? Is we need to look at 3060 Ti's, 3070s, 70 Ti's, maybe a 5700, 6700. And that puts us at about another $1,000 for a video card. And this is something you'd probably find all the time, right? You're going to spend about $2,000 for a system like this. But there is another way to do this. There's a better way to do this, actually, is what I should be saying, is Prebuilt. There used to be a time when Prebuilt was a dirty word. And if we look at Amazon, we see that it's still kind of a dirty word. I mean, these people selling gaming rigs, these are not gaming rigs. These are not systems that will run a game typically. So, I mean, they're showing off the integrated graphics. So you're going to spend $700 to have a system that has no graphics card, and you still need to spend an extra $1,000 to get a graphics card. And you see this all around. I mean, yes, this is a GTX 750. That does not work. That is a very old video card, or if it's new stock, it's so low brand or low end, it's not going to play the games that you want it to, how you want it to. I mean, these systems are just pretty much pointless until you get to maybe something like this, where it's okay. But if you're going to spend any kind of real money, you might as well go to a reputable place. Somewhere like CyberPower or iBuyPower or someplace like that. Yeah, they're a little expensive, and a lot of times they're going to be sold out. But you can expect to spend around $900 to $1,000 to call it $2,000 if you want a full complete system that's all decked out and you just plop it on a table and you're good to go. But gaming is getting to be a very expensive hobby up front. The nice thing is, at least once you buy it, you have it. So usually you've got the same system for 5 to 8 years without an upgrade. That's why a lot of times I would heavily suggest looking in the description down below and checking out the build that I suggest. The suggested build will kind of keep you relevant for a few years and keep you kind of in that mid price point of around $1,500 if at all possible. But I mean, if you got to spend it, you got to spend it. It is what it is. But guys, hopefully you guys can get into this and you already have a console. If not, I'm sorry. It's going to be a hard one for you guys to get going. But hopefully you guys have a little help now. You know what the minimum specs are for Warzone and minimum specs. But hopefully now you have an idea of what we're looking at here as far as these minimum specs required for Vanguard. It by the way, looks like it's going to be a very pretty game. Have lots of graphical effects. And the older generation Xbox is likely to struggle with it. So gaming PCs might just have to be a thing, or upgrading to that Series X or PS5 if you can get your hands on one. But guys, that's what I've got for you today, so I will see you guys around.